Hey everyone, and welcome to another Diablo 2 Resurrected build guide video. This time it's a so-called Rift Assassin. I made this video because for some people, including me, yes, the Phoenix Track Assassin is the most OP build in the game, like no doubt about it. But it can be a little bit annoying, right? Like the charges, like losing the charges all the time is kind of meh. And also, like the effects on the screen are they're too much, okay? They're kind of ridiculous. So if you still want an assassin, if you still want a kick assassin, if you still want effects on the screen, but not as crazy as the Phoenix Track assassin, you should make a Rift Revert. This procs frozen orbs on attack. And yeah, this is the fastest ability in the game. This is faster than Smite from the Paladin, by the way, with gear and stuff, of course. And every single kick can proc a frozen orb. So it's a 16% chance. That's 5 kicks per mouse click. Orb procs all the time. Okay. To enhance this cold damage a little bit, I'm wearing a Nightwings. And also, by the way, fun fact about this character. That's how my entire account started. So this was my very first character, right? I used this to farm up keys. And then I farmed Ubers. And then I made all the other characters. Since it's just a regular kick assassin, more about that when I show you the skill tree. This is excellent for day 1 declone kills, day 3 Uber kills, and so on. You would just have to swap 2 or 3 items, and then you are just a physical kick assassin. Of course, in this example character, I have like the extreme gear. I made this for keys farming, as I mentioned, so I can run super fast. If you would do Ubers with this, like the best in slot for Ubers is like Stormlash and G-Phase, and like get T-Gods and so on, but I have a separate video about this. But I'm just saying, right, it's actually a regular kick assassin. I know, I think the assassin is the least played class in the game, actually. I always thought it's the druid, but way less people play the assassin for whatever reason. This is on par with the smiter. And not like the RIFTSIN, but like the regular kicksin for Ubers. Like smiter and kicksin is like literally the same. So yeah, if you are tired of Phoenix Track Assassin, or if you think that the Phoenix Track is a little bit too much, you should play this. You should play this. The build is really good for Chaos. I'll show you a Chaos run in a second. So as you can see, it's just orbs. Orb, 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 orb. Do I have Enigma equipped? Yeah, of course. So I show you a Chaos run real quick. In terms of power level, this can maybe, with the gear I have currently, this can maybe clear players 4, players 5. Build is so bad. Like the RIFTSIN, even like it's an old school build, right? Even back in the day, it was more like a off-meta kind of meme build, but still somewhat viable, okay? But in action, they actually managed to nerf this off-meta build and resurrect it. Because they changed the synergy at some point. So in OG Diablo, Death Sentry would be a synergy to Lightning Sentry. Therefore, since you maxed this anyways, you could have easily swapped some points around and maxed like Lightning Sentry as well. And you would have had a decent Lightning Sentry in addition to the kick damage, in addition to the orb damage. Yeah, and since the mercenary is wearing Infinity, you would have still have had a decent Lightning Sentry. Not like 12k or 15k like a real Trapsin, but like around 6 to 7k, which is decent if you are on players 1 or up to players 3. So yeah, the build is basically dead. Like, the build was never that good, but here it's absolutely dead. But it's a fun setup you can do if the effects from like Phoenix Strike are too ridiculous. Also, the gear is super cheap for the regular Kicksin. No one will play this build. Guys, I promise you, no one will play this build. I've put together Kicksins like for less than it is to clear Ubers in D-Cloud. Everybody's on the Mosaic assassin train, right? So absolutely no one will play a regular Kicksin. You could get a Flash Ripper, do Ubers. You could get a whatever. There's so many weapon options, but it's all in the other videos, I think. Yeah, this video is about the RIFTSIN. So you would use Cloak of Shadows, drop traps, jump in. Like, yeah, it's not the same damage than Phoenix Strike, of course not, you know what I'm saying? This is more a boss killer build. Boss killer modified to that you can at least farm a little bit, you know what I'm saying? It's more fun setup for farming the keys up. I show you the gear and gear variations, what people used to play back in the day. Like there's a funny shield. I actually made that to test it and it's not good. But people played different setups back in the day. I'm going to show this after the run. So, yeah, as I mentioned, this was the very, very first character when I started this game. Started as the Fire Trapper, right? Then I had the budget Kicksin. And at a certain point I found a Ghoul rune, I think from Countess. Yeah, and then for shits and giggles I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make a Rift, I will try this. Is it really that bad? Yes, it is really that bad. But it's a fun build. I mean, it would be the perfect build for someone who dislike Phoenix Strike. As you can see, with Raku Suit you literally can't die. Also, like, these items have the character name on them, right? So this was really the first character. I think I have 256 Uber kills on this chart, to be exact. Or maybe it's the other assassin. I don't remember, okay? But yeah. I always played the Kick Assassin instead of the Sniper for Ubers. Like, I had a Sniper only once in all my playtime in Diablo. Like LOD and this combined. So that should tell you, like, a regular Kicksin is good for Ubers, okay? Like, it is really good. Of course, I should use Fate here, but I'm too greedy, I want the attack speed. Let's teleport. Why is my teleport on F4, dude? Usually I have it on F1. So if it would be the OG build, this would be regular lightning sentries and they would deal insane damage, right? Wasn't even buffed up. Look at this. You will think like, what the fuck is this boss damage, bro? That's players 1. Yeah, it's the farming setup, right? Like, I don't want to make like 3 videos out of 1, but I could show you the damage really quick, maybe in Trav or something, if you would swap. Oh, you know what? Let's talk about the gear, okay? So Drax, Rift for the proc. For the proc mainly, like everything else is whatever. It adds magic damage and fire damage, that's cool. Counts to the kick. For like for the code damage. Of course with a 5/5. Enigma. I have Cat's Eye here. I'm always unsure about this, okay? Like, not gonna lie, I played this game for so long, but I'm always unsure about this. Do plus skills from my gear count to the level of Frozen Orb? So it's actually not a level 21 Frozen Orbs, it's a level, whatever, level 30 Frozen Orb, okay? Like, that's how it works or not? Like, I'm always unsure about this. So yeah, I'm using Cat's Eye. There's the Run Walk. Also, it has attack speed, which Dracul Grasp are lacking. To make up for this a little bit, I have this amulet. You could use Metal Grid. Insanely good for Ubers. I was messing around with Atmos. It's kind of cool against Bale and stuff. We have an amp damage proc here. But I'm not too sure if the poison damage messes with the poison damage from within the Skilltree from Venom. You could use Mars, of course, to get a bigger battle order, or if it works, to get a higher level of Frozen Orb. The Highlots, of course. It's like the mix between plus skills and damage. Other than that, I have a Phoenix. For the sustain, don't have Mana Leech on this build. It comes from like the aura. Upped Gore Rider. Goblin Toe up. Double up Goblin Toes up possible here. Especially in the budget setup. Really, really good. I would argue for like real Ubers, they are even better. You really need a Run Walk. If that means you reach 100% Crushing Blow, then I would use Gore Rider. I have a Carrion Wind here, because yeah, just get even more procs. Arak, plus skill, teleport speed. Or rather, cast rate, but the teleport faster, right? Ravenfrost for cannot be frozen. Using a Code Rupture. Using a Physical Thunder. And the Geats, because it's actually a farming setup, you know? And also because it's a farming setup, a little bit of space in inventory, so I can pick up things and don't have to worry about the queue all the time. Especially when I play in like groups online multiplayer. I want to just snatch a high run real quick, you know what I'm saying? Not to have to worry about like opening the inventory. Torch. Any random small charms. Of course, buff up. Merc gear. Who would have thought about that? He's wearing Infinity. He's wearing Enigma. Going partner look here, okay. And Andarius with a roll. Different shields. So, I think back in the day, people like this one. It's garbage. Will greatly suffer survivability. But yeah, you have even more cold damage and more cold pierce for the orb. Kinda cool. 5/5s in blue or white would be better, of course. This one, Medusa's Gaze. Like, I think I never... Like, first of all, I rarely found this item, and I never played with this item. But it would fit the build perfectly. Like, you have a low resist proc when struck. That means nothing else than when you get hit. Lifesteal slows target by 20%. I mean, the only downside, it needs 200 strength. Even with Enigma, too ridiculous. Then Storm Shield. This setup with Storm Shield is ridiculously tanky. Like Ubers with this it feels like a joke, okay? Like it's literally hold left mouse button down. That's what it is with this build. Max block, max DR. It's like, I don't know, 300 all res with Fate, like it's an insane build. The skill tree for a second. Since I mentioned it briefly that the build is actually kind of nerfed and never was good, so it's a big hit. But yeah, I max Dragon Talon. This can vary depending on what type of content you play. If you really use it only for Ubers, the more kicks, the better. But if you want to use this for general keys farming players 1, where monsters die really quick and easy, you want fewer kicks. You want like 4 or 5 kicks max. Like 6 kicks already feel awkward. The reason is, when you click, you do your kick combination, and you stay, yeah, like you are locked in the animation. So if the mob is like, let's say you go up to like, I think 7 kicks is the max, or 8 kicks is the max, I'm not too sure. Let's say you have 7 kicks. And the monster is dead after 2 kicks, then you just stand there, right? And you kick the air. So it makes the gameplay real clunky and unfun. So for general farming, I would reduce the kicks. And against bosses, you want as many kicks as possible. Around 5 to 6 feels the best. Like, you have to try it out for your own, right? What's your playstyle? So max this. If you have Enigma, you don't need Dragonflight. But other than that, 1 point in Dragonflight. 1 point here. I had 1 point in Shadowmaster. This is a high-level character, so whatever. Some people absolutely hate those, and I agree. Sometimes they are just annoying. The problem is, on level 1 he's pretty useless. If you max him out and get Shadow Skillers, he's insane, okay? Like, he's insane, tried it. Buff him up with auras from a mercenary and it's insane. But yeah, like, putting 20 points in here is still a waste, you know? I think 1 point in those. I would say Cloak of Shadows is a must-have. You don't need Mind Blast for the kick build. 20 in Venom. I have 20 in Fate. The skill tree is highly customizable, depending on what you want to do. You could max out... Yeah, it's whatever, right? But since I use this for Ubers, just swap items, I maxed out Fate. Wanted to Blade Shield. Sadly, on-hit effects do not work with the Blade Shield, okay? You need to visit private server land for this. Lol, fun fact, there's an upcoming ladder reset in Path of Diablo. Bruv, comment if you remember that mod. They actually do a ladder reset in like 2 weeks or so. But yeah, on-hit effects do not work with Blade Shield. So forget about proccing AFK the orb. Just staying there, not gonna work. I have 1 point here just for style points. Other than that, maxing out Death Sentry, and putting a few more points in Fire Blast. So Death Sentry gets more shots per trap. Can pop more corpses. Yep, that's the skill tree. Give it a try. If you don't like the Phoenix Strike Assassin. Also, don't focus too much on this setup. I made this just for fun. I would rather focus on get the budget setup, kill declone for others, help others, farm keys, farm Ubers. That's what this build is really good for. But you can just make a fun build out of it as well, right? By switching 2 items. Yeah, let me know what you think about the build. Feel free to like the video, subscribe, and good luck in Season 6, guys. Later!